And bright like some diamonds.
And welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. Pure Culture in the house. The first lady of sports podcasting, Tasha T. Sizzle, in the house. Maize and Blue Skies. Maize and Blue Skies in the house. Tasha T. Sizzle, it's a celebratory show for us and everyone who dons that block M that you see donned on our heads. Before we get into the party that is the Natty, how was your birthday? The last time we saw you on live, you were gallivanting off to celebrate another year around the sun. Tell us how your birthday went.
Oh, it was lovely. A few friends of mine uh, took me out to dinner along with my mom and Mini Me. So I was happy. It rained, but we had so much fun. The food was good. Uh, I just had a good time. I always, when it's my birthday, it don't had no one taken me out or done anything. You know what it would have been about is me celebrating me. I don't need a circus. I don't need an audience. I don't need anything. I just need me.
Well, I will say that you looked fantastic in your black dress with the pony leg. I
And
can't say
y'all,
what
if
you
y'all
do.
if y'all know me, I don't like to take pictures because I don't know how to pose. So they told me,
Yes,
oh,
you do.
they said just do the one leg, and I'm like, huh?
Well, when
But
it
they
comes to
turned out
birthday,
nice.
it turned out very nice. You look very beautiful. But I will always harken back to when it comes to birthdays and poses. I believe it was maybe a decade ago. I got a birthday picture from Tasha that was reminiscent of the Janet album cover that was beautifully
Oh,
covered,
when I was sitting
Indian
totally nude.
style, totally new, Indian style, with just enough soft pornage to draw your eyeball in, but not enough for you to go and do anything wild. That was
I gotta
probably
find that photo and recreate that.
there ain't no need to. I'll send it to you. That was the dopest photo that I ever
Stop talking
received.
to me.
Uh-uh.
Stop talking to me.
The phone is broken in this drawer, and the photo is in there. Fantastic picture. I will always keep that one nearby. Good morning, Michigan Mike, Michael Hasso. We are the champions, my friend Tasha T. Sizzle. I'm going to start with you. Congrats to the University of Michigan, your 2026 national championship in men's basketball. Tasha, it's our first championship in 37 years. The last championship that we celebrated as a tandem was our freshman year in high school, which lets you know that black don't crack. Tasha, let's start with this. Your thoughts on this magical season overall, and how did the feeling of Monday's national championship compare to the feelings of the 2023 football national championship?
Uh, I mean, full transparency here. I still haven't seen the game
What?
because number one, I had food poisoning. Let's start there. And number two, I was traveling. I was in the airport with a original land time of 7:30. Uh, the flight didn't take off until 8:30. 45-minute flight. And by the time we get through the airport, and then the person who I was traveling with checked bags.
No, don't do that. Go ahead.
I don't ever check a bag. Check bag. Then we had to wait. Then we had to go get the rental car. So by the time I get back to the Airbnb, I couldn't get the Wi-Fi connected to watch the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game.
Well, we will forgive you for that because you were celebrating. Good morning, Jarrell Glenn. Congrats on the chip. Go Big Blue. Yes, it is a celebratory day. Upside down smiley face. Hey, she was traveling. Hey, oh, we got something for you today. You stick around and make sure you hit the subscribe
It's always a fucking hater somewhere, boy. I tell you.
because Tasha, while we were celebrating, people like Gojo was hella hating. And we're gonna get to the hella hating going on
Y'all,
in a minute.
y'all
Okay,
can hate all y'all want.
you really can. Now, good morning, Farrah of Our Take podcast. She says, Ref,
Oh,
go ahead.
first
Tasha.
of all, Farrell, we're not finna go there. This was probably, from the clips and everything that I have seen and heard, they said it was a pretty much well officiated game, that the refs did not have anything to do with the outcome like I guess in the past. But again, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know.
Tasha, I'm gonna push back on that, because one of the main narratives coming out of that game was the fact that the refs gave us a championship. As we say good morning to Brace and Roman in the house. Bro, I saw your profile picture on something where you was making the one-handed Randy Moss. Good job by you. Now, the reason why I'm wearing this referee shirt today is because everybody out there told me after the game that the referees handed us a national championship. So I'm going to start my shout-outs early with a shout-out to the Zebras. And today, ladies and gentlemen, for one day, I'm no longer PL Culture. My name is Ed Chocules. How about that? Ed Chocules, Tasha. Ed Chocules in the house. We got YouTube is on fire this morning. I'm trying to, we suck. Oh, we're going to get to that. Okay, just playing. Make sure you stick around. We got stuff for you. Not the Michigan Kango. Oh, Victory Cigar, James Worthy style. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a celebration. A celebration of life. Michigan gave Tasha an early birthday present with the Final Four ass whooping of Arizona. Go ahead, chime in before we get to this.
I'm just saying, you can say all you want, but at the end of the day, we had these right here. We had these Victory Cigars.
We got these right here. So Tasha, are you saying now that because you did not watch the game because you were traveling for your birthday, that you don't have an immediate reaction as to this championship versus the drought-ending championship in football?
No, I really don't have an honest reaction, but what I will say is this one, I mean, if you look at the grand scope, football is the king.
Yes.
So you would normally want to go with that one. And this team was made up primarily of transfers.
Yes. Another thing that we will address, your thoughts on that, but keep going.
The football team pretty much had people who were there, because what did they say? Those who stay will be champions. Mm-hmm. But I do feel bad for that one kid who played at Michigan when the UConn was winning championships.
Harris Reed.
Then he transferred, and he still didn't get no ring.
Fair, all I want to do, the ref shirt is, I'm trolling. This is my pushback on all of the comments I read whenever I was trying to click on a celebratory Michigan post. I found more non-Michigan fans in the comments than Michigan fans talking about the referees, talking about we bought a championship.
I'm just going to keep lighting this Victory cigar, and especially the one, this Victory cigar, and especially the ones who had all that gun bumping, talking about Michigan ain't got nothing.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to T-Dub from another show called Our Take. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Stan O'Reilly?
Stan O'Reilly? Is it Stan O'Reilly?
Out, bro. We shout you out. Go Blue. Go Blue. Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe. If you're a Michigan fan, you're going to love this page. You joke. Hey, we can take a joke. We love to joke around as well.
I don't take no jokes. We still love you, but I don't take no jokes.
Right. You playing on Michigan's name today. You telling me the refs didn't give an advantage to the coach who headbutts them? Oh, Jarrell has entered the chat. Oh, touche? Okay. All right. To answer your question before we get into some of the game, this championship felt a little more special to me than 2023 because of what has happened to us in the previous championship games during the course of our friendship. We 37 years deep. You know, we came in the game in '89 when the title was already secured. We started, I think, high school together that fall. So our experience as a tandem, Fab 5 losses in the championship game, 2013 loss in the championship game, 2018 loss in the championship game. So as this game got tight in the second half and we were struggling from the field in the first half, I was like, oh, Jesus, no. If we don't win this one, we might not be another chance. So this one feels really, really special. Michigan's dominant.
Didn't they say that like 61 to 64% of the points came from in the paint or something inside the paint?
And the free throw line. And we're going to get into that. Hey, you really like this YouTube channel? Hey, well, we really like you too, man. YouTube is on fire. It's hard for me to. Is that a Cuban? Tasha, is that a Cuban? Not one word from the
I
other
enjoy
show.
me a good stick every now and then.
Hey, thanks for the sub. Hey, we follow back over here. So appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Now, Tasha, this is the name we've been waiting for. No congratulations. No job well done.
All I got to say is somebody had a little pushback on their show. Shouts out to the Our Take podcast that comes on after us.
Yes.
When we were talking about the best team and this, that, and other thing, and I said whether they win or not, the Fab Five is still the best team. Let me ask you something, TT. In any championship game or Final Four appearance that the school that you root for has ever been in, when have they ever had a simulcast with all the starting five in any era that was more watched than the other broadcast?
I believe he took shots, and we're not going to leave you alone, Torrance. And good morning, my brother. He took shots at our level of intellect. He said that none of them graduated, to which I pointed out that not only did Howard and Rose graduate, Howard's son graduated from the University of Michigan as well. We're leaders of men. Now, Farrah says, I was rooting for them. Cut me some slack. Farrah, you picked Howard to upset us in the first round. You picked St. Louis.
I had to pull out my stiff drink because the haters have entered the chat. I'm still waiting on TT's answer.
Where you at, TT? Michigan Mike checks in. UConn, only way to win was to foul Michigan. We're going to get into that. Hey, make sure y'all follow them in the chat right here. Our Take podcast. They come on right after us, and it goes down. Good morning. Congrats. Good morning, Brother Langston. Speaking of championships, run that 2013 back because y'all was ineligible. I'm
right, because that was all ball, Langston. Now, we love you, Langston. But that was all ball.
HBCU, dang. Hey, we ain't cutting no slack. We have black people on our team.
Ain't no cutting no slack because, Favor, you had said what you said.
You did.
And we ain't forget.
But the pointing of the victory cigar is just giving me so much life right now. I can just inhale the smoke. I should have hit my Benjamin before this show because now I'm fired up. Tasha said to always. Oh.
Michigan got black players.
Sure does. Now, Farrah, I'm going to pin that because I'm going to use that against Tasha when we start talking about football later on in the summer. Because I agree with you on that there's black players on the teams that she goes against. I'm going to digress there. Farrah also said U of M wasn't a respectable academic university. She sure did say that because I asked her, was she calling us dumb?
And we're like in the top 5 of universities, period.
Are we in the top 5 universities as far as athletic prowess? Because I say we're the number 1 premier athletic program in the country. Do you agree?
The last time I checked, we got Olympic champions on the gymnastics team.
That's one.
We just went to the Frozen Four. Now, we did lose the other night.
We always lose in the Frozen Four, but that's okay. Got to be in it to win.
The swimming team.
Yes.
Let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball.
Okay.
Football.
Okay.
Whatever other sports you got.
Right. The women's team had their greatest season ever.
You got the women's basketball. So, yeah, I think we kind of all around. So, TT, what you got?
Right. Oh, no, he did. He says he got Dawn Staley. When I turned on that game, y'all was down 40 points in the first quarter. They ain't but 10-minute quarter.
Well, that ain't no knock against Dawn because we roots for Dawn.
No, I told him.
But don't sit up here. But in this case, TT, you lost that argument. It ain't no comparison. Again, I ain't seen no starting 5 from your favorite team of your heightened rooted interest ever doing a simulcast.
Ever. Now, Farrah says UNC is better academically. Y'all don't even take classes.
UNC is up there. Only reason why it's harder to the only reason why it's harder to get into UNC is because they typically take their own first, kind of like University of Texas, where it's harder for out-of-state students to get in.
Yes, and it's hard for yes, I agree with that. Good morning, Denise. But you were watching. We were watching because we wanted to troll Gino. We weren't watching because we're South Carolina fans per se. We're Dawn fans.
We was watching because of Dawn. Dawn could have been coaching any school, and if they still had the same prominence, I'm rooting for Dawn.
Can Dawn coach your men's football team and your men's basketball team?
Y'all might have a better record.
Maybe you could be in the same echelon as the University of Michigan. Now, Tasha, last week, because you alluded to this.
Why you trying to come for me, Farrah? I know that's your ghost account.
Right, she's coming from the burner. Now, Tasha, last week we spoke in hypotheticals. because the job wasn't done yet. But now that the job is finished, we have to revisit this subject. And you kind of alluded to it earlier. Where does this Michigan team rank all time in program history? Where do you stack this with the 89 championship team and the 2 Fab Five teams?
I would put this one behind the Fab Five teams. Well, I would say the second year Fab Five.
Okay, the 93 team, the sophomore year.
I would put that behind the second year Fab Five, followed by the first Fab Five, and then the 89 championship team. But that's not to take away from what 89 did with an interim coach. You know, the program was kind of up in the air about what was going to happen, and Fish came in and you know, they did the thing.
Yeah, that 89 team was 12-6 in the Big Ten, and they did have a magical run. Glenn Rice just went nuclear for 6 games, and Ramil Robinson, his scamming ass, made some critical free throws in that championship game. This team was pretty dominant. I don't know, Mike. You was 3 when the Fab Five played. Now I'm going to get to
and it don't have anything to do with dominance. Or then again, y'all know I'm not that ring culture type person. I go what was presented in front of me, and I've never seen anything in life like the Fab Five, along with the UNLV Five, even the Duke teams and the Kentucky teams in those days. I've never seen anything like those, and it's the it's the influence. It's everything for the culture that the Fab Five. Beyond, I mean, you'd even look at their skill of play. Who was really playing street ball like that before them?
Nobody.
I'm just saying, it goes beyond the baggy shorts and the black socks and the black shoes. But the only person I still knew that was wearing short shorts was John Stockton.
Right. Now, Mike says, next question. Don't get butthurt because of this, Mike. I'm about to break this thing down. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of dandelions, not really a full bouquet of flowers. But just hear me out here. Now, Farrah says, this is your best team. They won the Natty Fab Five most individual athleticism. Now, let me say this.
No, Fab Five was still the best team. Again, I don't count rings because I had to tell you on your show, Farrah, Charles Barkley ain't got no rings. Allen Iverson does not have a ring.
Robert Horry has 7.
Robert Horry got 7 just for standing in the corner and jacking some shit up.
I'm going to say this.
He's big shot Rob, not big career Rob.
Right. As we say good morning to Sheila Hastings and Go Blue, good morning. And as we say good morning to AP Culture, I'm going to do this, and I want everybody to listen up, especially you 90s MJ stands. The way that I'm going to approach this, maybe we can all learn something from this. Now, Mike, you exempt from this because you're old enough to know better. But my personal opinion is that if on a one-game scenario, in an NCAA tournament type scenario, Michigan wipes the floor, the Fab Five wipes the floor against this team. In a 7-game series, it doesn't go 6-7 games. That's not to take away from what this current team did. But I just think that when you match them up, and we're talking about matchup, styles make fights. There was no Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, and Jalen Rose anywhere in this tournament that played against Michigan or for Michigan, for that matter. If you're telling me that you're going to take a Damar over Chris Webber in a one-on-one matchup, or you're going to take Morez Johnson Jr. over Juwan Howard, or you're going to take Elliot Cadeau, who did capture most outstanding player, over 6'9" Jalen Rose, you're insane. Now, I will say this. When we talk best team, you have to include championship. Yeah, they're one of the best teams. But I think what you're conflating is season and team. I said this last week. If they win the championship, it'll be the best season of all time. But not
right, but they're definitely not the best team.
Let me give you a real life example. The 2000 Tennessee Titans, for my old heads, was a better team than the 99 team that went to the Super Bowl. They didn't make it as far. They got clipped up by a Baltimore team that actually won the championship that year. But that team would have beaten the 99 team. Sometimes it's styles that make fights. If you're telling me that this particular Michigan team that just won the Natty would have beaten Danny Hurley, Christian Laettner, and Grant Hill, that team, that all-time great team that beat Michigan in 91, I'm going to have your head examined. That's not,
right, because
that's not going to happen.
wouldn't have happened.
That wouldn't have happened. Now, he says, we talk best college football, all champions. There's a caveat to that, Mike. They played 12 games, not 40. I will take, let's say, okay, so best teams college football, just for the sake of argument, the 91 UNLV team that lost to Duke, does Michigan beat that team? Greg Ackles, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Anderson Hunt.
Oh,
like we can we can do that, and we can do that as well. We can do that, and it's not a call out, but it's like, are you wearing an old Halloween costume? No.
He just walks around. He just keep a damn referee shirt in his closet for good measure.
I've been holding on to this for a win where people said that the referees were the reason. But let's say this, okay? But y'all hired crazy trouble coaches. We gonna get to that too. Tasha, this is where I stand on this.
We only had one crazy coach who slapped the shit out of another coach on the sideline doing the handshake.
And that coach did win Big Ten Coach of the Year and won 30 games and was AP Coach of the Year. So let's chill on the Juwan Howard slander too for a day. But I'm going to say this, and this is where we'll leave that conversation. I do agree that the Fab Five is a better collection of talent, is a better team than this team that just won the national championship. However, and you Jordan stands and you 90 stands, I want y'all to take a page out of my book. For the generation of Michigan fans that did not watch the Fab Five play and feel their cultural impact, I will give you this team as your greatest of all time with no fighting, no argument, and no degrading you or baiting you into arguments like the 90s people do today's NBA fans. I will make a case, Tasha, for this team being the greatest of all time. And Mike, listen up. Foot Locker fired him. Hey, I was more of a chance guy. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you was one of the main ones talked about the refs on your show, the butter knife man. That was Harbaugh's hire, by the way. Let's go with this. Michigan this season, if you want to make a case for them as the greatest Michigan team of all time, they had the toughest schedule in the country. Their average margin of victory was 17.8 points a game. That's pretty dominant. Their average margin of victory in the tournament, 22 points a game. They won a tough Big Ten by 4 games. Their 19 conference wins are the most in Big Ten history, even surpassing the undefeated 76 Indiana team, which is considered one of the greatest teams of all time. And so there, I'm giving you your flowers. If today's generation want to call this team the greatest Michigan team of all time, I'm just going to base that on your depth of perception because you didn't watch the Fab Five play. That's where we ended. Don't add us on that. We'll give you that. But in the same breath, don't start slandering the Fab Five if you didn't watch them play.
And on top of that, you know, I have seen the Fab Five 30 for 30 doc 3 times since this week. They played it 3 times this week.
Yes. I like to rewind the part where they were talking about Duke. But yes, we wear black socks because of them. And you're out of those panties and waist trainers because of the Fab Five as well. Remember John Stockton and Karl Malone pre-Fab Five? Even the NBA had to take notice. So, Tasha, while we were celebrating all week, social media and a lot of these commenters were hella hating. Such a dichotomy. And there's 2 main points of contention that people were hating on that I want to address today. Since Tasha didn't watch the game, I'm gonna give you these numbers and then pass the ball to her. Now, officiating, hence the Ed Chocules outfit. All right. Y'all said that the referees handed us a title. But we can see, no, you're not going to digress me. We're going to come back to these in just a second. So, Tasha, let's do the numbers. For the people who, like you, may not have watched the whole game and you saw the box score. When you look at the box score, you see Michigan had 28 free throw attempts. UConn had 16 in a 6-point game. Anybody can just point to that. Oh, they were 25 or 28. The refs bailed them out of a close game. Let's look further. Let's do a little deeper dive into the box score, Tasha. As our favorite Unc would say, can I interest you with this? Of their 68 shot attempts, them being UConn, Tasha, 33 of those shot attempts were three-point attempts. So more than half of their shot attempts came from the three-point line, and they only made 9. So I did some digging. What was their regular season average? Three-point attempts, 15. So in the national championship game, you abandon your identity, which is to play inside out, and you jack up 33 threes, even though you're not making them at a below 30% clip. Okay. Let's juxtapose that to the University of Michigan. In the first half, they were 0 for 10 from 3. In the second half, Michigan abandoned the three-point shot. They only took 5 more threes the remainder of that game. That points to coaching and the coaching staff. I can hear Dusty May say, y'all bricking, hoist up another brick, and you coming out the game. Go attack the paint. Attacking the paint is how you get foul shots. Shooting 33 three-pointers in a game where you average 15.
It's not how you get no foul shots.
I'm just going to let that.
Most fouls come from when you drive into the hole or the end of the game when they just trying to stop the clock.
Right there. So let's stop with the foul shit, okay? We abandoned the three. We attacked the paint. And to Mike's earlier point that he said earlier in the show, they didn't have the size to contend with us. So us being a 74% free throw shooting team on the season, their best bet was to foul us and put us on the line to chop the game up. What they didn't expect was for us to shoot 89% from the free throw line, 25 or 28. I think we hit 20 in a row. Fab Five till infinity. Mama, I'm just getting started. Hurley said this was one of the best teams he's played. He ain't lying. He ain't lying either. He ain't lying. Now, he ain't lying. Now, Tasha.
Now, it's like we said this team was open ass. We didn't say that.
Right. And it's driving to the hole. That's my special. You know what? I saw your moo comment the other day. How you like to lift that moo. You're out of control, Terrell. You're out of control. Now, Jarrell, you might want to close your ears for this part because this is not a shot at you or your team. This is just data that was collected to defend Michigan. Tasha, the next thing we saw was a bought championship that came mostly from inside of our own conference. A lot of Sparty fans saying, congratulations, Michigan, you bought a national championship.
I mean, maybe y'all should have put y'all coin up and y'all could have bought one too.
Don't despise Tasha for posting travel stories. When you get paid every 2 weeks, just like she do. That was a digress. So they said that Michigan bought a championship, and I'm coming to y'all in the comments after this point. So again, Tasha, research is your friend. Michigan this year had an estimated payroll of $10 to $12 million for their roster. Okay, that's not chump change. Let me start by saying, ladies and gentlemen, that is not chump change. But let's compare our roster budget to some of the teams that we played in the regular season and the tournament, shall we? Let's start with Arizona, $22.6 million roster. UConn, who we played in the Final Four, $21.5 million. Tennessee, we played them in the Elite Eight, $23.1 million. Indiana, who we played in the regular season and smoked, $32 million. Michigan State, who we swept, our rival, who said we bought a championship, $21 million. Auburn, who we beat by 40 in Vegas, $20.5 million. Tasha, to that, you say what?
You know, maybe it's how you disperse your money, not who you give it to. You got to pay more attention who you cutting that check to. Disperse it the right way.
Our boy Eddie Murphy said it so eloquently in Harlem Nights when his daddy talked to him about, we're going to try to go over here and kill Ray, but they got all these guns and we got one gun. What did Eddie Murphy tell him?
He said,
not how many people you shoot.
Is who you shoot.
One more time, Tasha.
Who you shoot.
It's not how many people you shoot. It's who you shoot. Bang, bang, Wolverine gang. I stole that from you, Tasha. I stole that from you for this one. Bang, 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 Wolverine gang. So that points to coaching, Tasha. How do we whoop y'all's asses with half the budget? Bucket hat, please, ladies and gentlemen, anyone?
Let me put. You want me to put it on this way?
I
So
want
it
to
just
see
say
the cigar.
Michigan.
I need the cigar in your hand too, so people can screenshot this. So people can screenshot. Yeah, screenshot this, ladies and gentlemen. Screenshot.
Let me get my torch. Where'd my torch go?
So if it's not, if it wasn't the referees, it was a poor game plan and execution and shooting by UConn, and it wasn't the amount of money that Michigan spent. Could it be that we're just a premier program with premier coaching, premier athletes, and a bought-in system with the fan base that put up the highest viewership numbers in 6 years for the national championship game?
That's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna go with that as well. Now, Mike says coaching, he knew exactly who would fit the scheme. We had throwaways, by the way. Elliot Cadeau, North Carolina, anyone? Didn't y'all call him ass?
Fair.
Now, Mama, your son, I'm gonna put you up here for a second. Mama, and got some change. Yes, and we got some change back. Yes, we did. Mama, your son, your firstborn son, texted me this summer when we signed Elliot Cadeau and jeered and laughed. Ferrer jeered and laughed that we was getting. And
then you come to find out the boy is hard of hearing, and he got a lot of other developmental issues, but he went out there and played like a champion.
He didn't have no developmental issues with working on his game, because that didn't look like the kid that played in Carolina Blue out there.
No, it showed didn't look like fun. Look, this how bad it was. The first Michigan game I watched, I'm sitting there. I said, why do I know this kid?
Mm-hmm.
Like it took the longest. It didn't take me until like the second half of the season in February when I watched the game, and they said that he came from Carolina. Because I was sitting there like, damn, why do I know this kid with this sideshow Bob hair? I was like, because that's what I remember when he was at Carolina. I kept calling him Sideshow Bob.
They were daring him. Have you seen the clips where other teams was daring him to shoot the three-pointer? Where they were just packing the paint. It was almost like the young lady, I can't remember if she played for LSU or South Carolina, where Caitlin Clark in the when she was at Iowa basically got under the rim and said, shoot that three. And old girl bricked it. Like how that messed up her psyche, she said, going back to the next season. She did go back and capture a championship the next year. I forgot that lady's name. I'm sure Torrance remembers. But Torrance says, I did say this team is the blueprint of future college basketball, NIL, all transfers to a championship. Let's discuss this real quick. So, Tasha, we won with 5 transfers, and people have a problem with that. Do you think that's sustainable, the way Michigan won this championship?
I don't think so. Because we've seen how success doesn't necessarily mean these players are going to stay. It doesn't equal retention.
Right.
So
I'm Raven John. I knew Torrance would come through for us. I knew it. Yes. Raven Johnson. Good job by you, sir. Thank you. Hey, Farrah, I told you it was going to be this kind of show. I told you if you wasn't a Michigan fan, you might want to.
I mean, to me, it's just all the hate. I mean, y'all tore up the school not on the athletic. Look, the athletic part, the academic part as well.
Yeah. Tasha, why are we such an unlikable brand all of a sudden?
This is what I told my friend who was trying to fix my computer. Shouts out to my boy Jay. He is a big Florida fan. And I said, hey, I need you to do something on my computer. The first thing he said, if it got something to do with some Michigan shit, I ain't touching it.
Why not, Tasha? Why not?
But what you guys can't see, I'll take a photo. And what I told him, with that block M right there on that screen, on that keyboard, you're gonna always have to kiss the ring. You're gonna always have to kiss the ring.
Go ahead, pucker up to your phone or your laptop. Go ahead, pucker up, give it a smooch. Hey man, look, I don't know. Tasha, I'm gonna just throw this out there. And no, we coming to that, Denise. You hang on. We are coming to that because I'm dying to get your mama's thoughts on this.
Coldplay point 2.0.
Right. I think that people loved us being the lovable losers. They loved us being just good enough to not beat Ohio State. They loved us being the bridesmaid in all these national championship games. They love to say, yeah, but when we talked about the Fab Five with such affinity, they love to do that. They love to say, oh, well, Michigan claims they hadn't won a championship since the Eisenhower administration. We on that ass now. And now that we're winning, you know, Mike Jones said back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. I was just the opposite. Everybody wanted us when we was sucking, when they was knocking.
What? Y'all was sucking?
No. There's no Jody in the comments. When they was knocking Denard's helmet off, and when we was
right,
and when Ed Martin was going to jail, everybody loved Michigan. But now,
yeah, when they were saying Jalen was in the crack house,
when they were chanting crack house when he was at the free throw line in the Breslin Center, everybody loved Michigan. When Harbaugh was on trial fighting for his life like Robert, everybody loved the Wolverines.
When you had coach,
because you wasn't supposed to be there. Damn it! Oh, honesty.
Well, we appreciate your transparency, our take.
I appreciate it. I really do. Because finally we get to the root of this. We get into the root
it's all hate.
Damn it, Langston. I was hoping we could digress past that. Who knocked his helmet off? It was the Jadeveon Clowney, and yes, it was a ball don't lie moment. Yes, he was short of the first down. Yes, okay. What have you done since then?
Gave us that quarterback that plays in that can't even get on the field down there in New Orleans. What's his name? That came from Oklahoma and
they benched him for the new kid, and the new kid is doing this thing. And Jadeveon Clowney went on to be a journeyman in the NFL, but we're okay there. So we got that. We got this. Let's go to coaching, because Mike said something when we were talking about the money that was spent, that was paled in comparison to some of the teams that we boat raced.
Oh, and I just had, because I had to pull this up for Ferris.
Pull it up. Do your thing.
She want to say compare UNC and Michigan. Michigan is the number 3rd ranked public university in the world. I mean, in the country, behind Cal, Berkeley, and UCLA. You want to know where North Carolina is?
I do.
But below us at 4.
Okay, so they're not too far behind.
I mean, but they still behind.
Right. You still smelling ass crack when you're looking up that ladder, okay? How about that? And got some change back. I love that. What school? Well, South Carolina, we're not going to put y'all in that because, like I said, what y'all major in is spit and dip in a can.
All y'all got is the cock, a doodle-doo.
I'm glad you put a doodle-doo on there. Good morning, Mr. Hasso in the house. It's amazing blue sky this morning. Amaze and blue sky. She said source. She wants you to source it.
USA Today. Thank you very much. U.S. News and World Report. How about that?
Could be.
That's a lie. It's a patent pending lie. U.S. News and World Report.
I can't wait till the people get the mixed tag team match between our take and the extra point, where we get to battle y'all in the squared circle. We issue the challenge. You all are able to accept or not accept. Now, Mike said in all caps, how about that? Now, Mike, I want to go back to your point about coaching versus money, because Dusty May mopped the floor with a lot of these coaches. And I want to find out where he is in the current list of Pantheon greats in this industry, because you and I both know that timing is everything, and he's about to break the bank with his extension, and deservedly so. But Tasha, would you take him over these coaches? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a game of this or that featuring Tasha T. Sizzle. I'm going to give you 2 coaches. You can only keep one, and you better answer correctly today because of the cigar and the hat and the shirt. All right? We here? As Martin said when he was getting the traffic ticket court, I can Tina Gina. I can Tina Gina. Hold on real quick. He asked Tommy, where were you on the night in question? He said, I was with you, Columbo. Very funny, Eddie Murphy. Tasha started the Martin stuff in the pre-roll. Sorry. All right. Dusty May or Tom Izzo? You can only pick one.
Ooh.
No, ain't no ooh. What you oohing and on for? Dusty May or Tom Izzo, damn it.
Oh, now we talking about
who you take today? Who would you take to coach your team to? You got an expansion school. You're at Tennessee State University, although we have a great coach there that just got an extension. Let's go with another
now,
school.
if we
DRU University.
If we rebuild, and I'm gonna go with Dustin May because I think Izzo's coaching style only fits in
the
Lansing.
Timberland wearing basketball players.
Yeah.
The guys who wear Timbs in the open gym. Those are Izzo's guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Dusty May or Calipari?
I'm gonna go with Coach Cal.
Okay. Dusty May or Danny Hurley?
Ooh. Only reason why I'm going to give the edge to Hurley is because he's shown some sort of longevity at a winning aspect, putting out a good product, whereas this is basically May's first year of being that guy.
Got you.
First, you know what I'm saying?
Dusty May or Kelvin Sampson?
I'm gonna have to go with Dusty May because Kelvin Sampson keep nutting up for whatever reason.
Yes, he needs E and D medicine. They can't. Yes. Yes. Second year championship is wild. Now, Mike, I will say this as a sports fan, not just a Michigan fan. Yes, a second year championship is wild. However, when we're comparing this to other eras and other Michigan teams, you were not allowed to put together a team like this in the past. So Dusty has been aided by a university that's shown a renewed commitment to NIL and to the transfer portal.
Yes.
And he made a tweak to how some of the missteps they made with Juwan Howard, because Juwan Howard continued to bring in recruits that were juniors and seniors transfers whose credits wouldn't transfer over because of Michigan's academic department. So we lost out on Caleb Love. We lost out on Terrence Shannon. We lost out on a couple of key players that could have continued his run because they just didn't figure that part out. Dusty was able to figure that part out. To his credit, don't take him junior. Don't take him with that many credits because you're not going to be able to stand up.
Exactly. And then I think too, once you get someone on your team who has already played, let's say they're already 22, 23 years old, how coachable are they? Because they're so used to maybe, I don't say you can be the guy, because if you're the guy, you're not going to keep transferring. You would have been gone by your freshman or sophomore year anyway.
That's true.
But I think it's harder to buy in because people, I think a lot of the pressure, they expect you to be a leader because you so old and you done played so long.
Right. And I think me and Mike had kind of joked about this before the Final Four. What would a 23-year-old, which Yaxel Lindenborg was 23 years old at the time of the national championship game, what would a 23-year-old Chris Webber look like in college?
Look, it would be so totally unfair because as an 18, 19-year-old, he was a man-child.
He was the player of the year in 93, to your point, as a 19-year-old. Can you imagine Jalen Rose, the Fab Five being 23-year-olds playing in today's game?
It would literally look like UNLV. They
would change the rules. It would be Lou Alcindor, UCLA type vibes. But where I will credit Dusty May was that, again, and we mentioned this earlier, Elliot Cadeau was a cast-off. Maurice Johnson Jr. was allowed to leave. Adamara couldn't even see the floor at UCLA, who wasn't a great team last year.
Right.
He couldn't even see the floor.
And then he comes to Michigan, all 7'12" of him, and he's a dominant post player down low.
Dominant post player. So there's development going on in Ann Arbor.
And to go back now, I don't know if TT's still on. It is a South Carolina. I think I sent this to you guys in our chat. It's a South Carolina women's basketball player. I can't think of her name. I think she's originally from Nigeria, and I do remember she played at Mississippi State at one point. But the NCAA has denied her getting an extra year. But then they have some football player who is like on his 8th year.
It's time to get rid of that shit too. Like, you old ass players, your days are numbered. Okay. Like, I love you, Yaks. Thank you for the championship and for your contributions this year. But he didn't
say he was coming back.
He's not. He's there for the draft. But I'm just saying we're done with that.
But I can take you. Okay, let's say.
Let's be on it. Keep going, Tasha.
Yeah, that's her name. That's it.
Sorry, be on it.
Now I will say I'll give you if a player stays 4 years. What if that player started school late, or what if they got retained or something? So if you're 22, 23 as a senior, okay, because hopefully by 23, your ass is getting ready to at least graduate or sniff some type of a diploma or degree.
How many more credits you got left at 23? Keep going.
But to be 23 in the fall and transferring, you're gonna be 24. And if you don't get drafted, you're going to try to come back to play at year 25. And I think that's ridiculous.
And there are coaches out there who will give you $3-4 million to do so when you had to go over to Siberia and play at 24 years old if you wasn't good enough to be drafted back in the day. And again, this is not to take anything away from the Michigan team. Rewind the tape where I gave you all of the dominance that they had. How do you think this team will be remembered in 10 years? There was a national beat writer who said that no one will remember this team in 10 years. I believe it was Nick Wright that said that because of the transfer portal. Do you agree?
I mean, but to me, that holds true for any of these programs.
Right.
Because what did I say? That's why the NBA is so unwatchable to me, because I'm not familiar with the players. When they were in college, at least 2 years, you got to know their names, especially if they were a dominant player. Like I said, look at a Chris Webber. Look at a Mashburn came out, junior year?
Yeah.
Either
way it goes. Was a senior. They played in the semifinal round. They played in the semifinals.
But he wasn't a senior that year.
Okay, he had to have been a junior because you couldn't come out at
I think he was a junior. But I don't know the players because they're not building their name in college like they used to.
Right.
You had them, like you look at somebody like Patrick Ewing, who played at Georgetown. When he came out, he was the first lottery pick. He already had his own shoe deal with Adidas, even though he wore Nike the whole time. And who wasn't trying to wear them Patrick Ewing New York Knicks Adidas back in the day?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Finish your thought.
I mean, and then you look at somebody like Ralph Sampson, who built his name in college because when he got to the pros, he that didn't transfer.
Not to the level of that we had anticipated that his career arc would go from what we saw with his time in Virginia.
Yeah. So, I think it is a detriment, but you just can't. I mean, it's a detriment these kids don't stay in longer. It's a detriment to the game, but I don't think that really has anything to do with, whether or not the team is going to be remembered or not. But I mean, they're going to remember this team because they won a championship, but I kind of do agree with him because who is the big name that had been there for 3 or 4 years?
Right.
The 2013 team, we know some of those players because those players stayed and probably a couple of them probably should have stayed. Big Dog Jr., what's his name? The player for Miami. His dad played for Miami.
Hardaway Jr.
Hardaway Jr. All of them, Trey Burke, all of them.
Trey Burke as well. Trey Burke as well.
All of them should have come back for one more year, but they wanted to strike while that iron was hot because they knew that game was taken away from them in 2013 down there in Atlanta. So I get wanting to strike while the iron, but I think they would have benefited from another year.
The perfect illustration of that is the 2023 Michigan football team because Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, Roman Wilson, that entire defense, Sam Russell, Will Johnson, all of those players could have gone pro, but the taste in their mouth from losing to TCU, a game that they were supposed to win, made them all come back. And so as Michigan fans, we saw a team that had beaten Ohio State, won the Big Ten championship 2 years in a row, come back and try it again and then go undefeated. So that team holds a special place in our heart because we saw JJ come in as a freshman and then take over the starting job and then go on to do what he did, and as well as Blake Corum and that whole crew. So to that point, Tasha, I do believe that because we grew up with them, they grew up with us as fans, that team will be remembered longer than the basketball team. But for me, as a long-suffering basketball fan, y'all did that for me in 2026, Michigan. Y'all and Mike said we got to run it back next year. I'm like, I'm good. If it take 37 for another one, I got to see it in my right mind.
Like you said, when we won that football championship, I ain't give a damn if we touch the playoffs next season.
Right. And you stuck by that. There was no panic in your voice when we took a dip after that. I'm good, Michigan basketball. Y'all don't owe me anything else. Dusty May, beers on me, all that good stuff. Now, let's close with this, Tasha. because this has some ties to a large portion of our viewing base. That's Mike Vrabel. So earlier this week, we started seeing photographs leaked of Mike Vrabel and Athletic and NFL.com lead source reporter Diana Russini locking hands at some looked like some remote retreat where it looked like they were enjoying their best life. Now, yes, they're both married. Do I give a damn about that part of the story? No. Is that why we're talking?
Oh, and sorry, one more thing. Shouts out to Blake Corum. He just became a father.
He sure did. He sure did. He shot up the club, and the club stayed open.
To his wife.
To his wife, yes. To his wife. I digress. Speaking of wife, Diana Russini and Mike Vrabel both publicly stated that they were on a friend's retreat and the friends weren't photographed. That's neither here nor there. I really don't care about that part of it, but I do care about this part of it because I have a woman on the show that talks sports with me every week. The journalistic integrity part of this story is starting to come into question, where the Athletic, where Diana Russini works, is now putting her on administrative leave while they investigate the situation, because Titans fans had long thought that Mike Vrabel was her source when she was doing all of that banging on Rand Carthon, and basically was Badoom tis. I didn't even know I did that, Tasha. Way to catch that, Tasha. As a woman who watches and covers sports, and you've seen some of the great women sideline reporters and come through. What are your thoughts on this as a woman when you see this story?
I mean, to me, and this is not to sound any kind of way. I mean, it is going to sound some kind of way. It just goes back to the point of the way they look at women in sports in general, how we can never really get anything off of our morals. It has to be because they slept their way to the top. We're not going to say any names, Joy Taylor, and others.
Shit. Oh,
allegedly.
About her. That well dried up, no pun intended.
Like had this been Pam Oliver, had it been Josina Anderson, had it been the lovely, lovely Taylor Rooks, I think it would have had a different spin on it, because it's almost like you can't be beautiful and go out there and report sports without people think you're sleeping around. And this kind of stokes that fire a little bit. Was this how you were able? Because you raised up your skirt a little bit, maybe tooted it up a little bit. And what do I always say? Enough killer show TV that I watch, the crime is always in the cover up.
Yeah. So does the explanation hold with you?
No, it does not, because y'all have. I mean, not saying that they have to, but where was these friends at? Why was the only photos that any? It may wait a minute. Let me take that back. It could have been some friends there, because they're not big enough stars that will warrant the paparazzi to show up.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Go ahead.
Let's say me and you are big sports fans. We would recognize Mike Vrabel if we were just out and about. Let's just say you're at the fair, we see Mike Vrabel and some woman. We would know that's Mike Vrabel. The way that those pictures were leaked, that screamed private investigator to me. This didn't look like some random fans saying, "Oh, that's Diana Russini and Mike."
That is true, because those photos were clear. They weren't grainy, especially one when they. Why are you laying up in the hot tub with this man, like in a totally relaxed position? Like she had that one leg propped up, the other leg was out, and he's laying over there. They're talking. That was too comfortable for that to be our friends were there.
Because why would I feel that comfortable around my friends to do that when they know I'm married? I guess is what you could say to that.
I mean, not even that. It's just the fact that y'all keep talking about these friends were around, and that's a patent pending lie.
Yeah.
Y'all just, like you said, y'all
the hotel say we didn't see nobody but him and the lady. Now people are saying Amy Anderson had that private investigator. I think she got bigger fish to fry than what Vrabel is doing now.
I mean, all I know is the Patriots said they don't care. And again,
why would they, Tasha?
What is Bob Kraft gonna say? Well, maybe you should have went and got your little tug.
He gonna say put it in her mouth. Is what Bob Kraft is gonna say.
Put it in my mouth.
He's gonna go Acanelli with it now.
You know what?
they just lying, and more lying, because regardless, you don't be all locked hand and dancing with another woman or man. I agree with that. But Denise, let me ask you and your mom this together. Could he just be giving her information at that point? Could she just be meeting with a source?
But still, you meeting at a source in a hot tub?
If you married, the only man I'm holding hands with is my daddy, uncle, or granddaddy.
That was not just their interaction, their energy. That wasn't even like I'm meeting up with my source, because you even think when Nate went to go meet up with his informant, he wasn't holding hands. I knew you'd get that. Shouts out to the negotiators. Three shots in the mask.
Send a mask. Watch them.
He was assassinated. 3 shots. Send a mask.
Get me Sabian. Y'all Gen Z millennials, y'all go back and rent that on some streaming device now. Tasha, let me ask you this. I'm gonna just keep it real. When Sharon's situation went down, it was covered by CNN, DNN, BNN, OPN, OPP, ABC, NBC. This one is not quite. Is this because she's so closely connected to the NFL that they're going to squash the coverage with their network partners?
Well, I think it's not so salacious because you didn't have at any time the police being called in. You know, anytime you got to call the police, it makes it a bigger story.
That's true. Now, it was a bigger story for us because it was our coach. But speaking of that, where's the retraction stories for Sharon? Because he was exonerated on all of that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Since
You're not
nobody talk about that, let's talk about that. Martrice said that was a silencer wins.
You're not going to see the retraction for Sharon Moore, because what he did. I mean, the way they keep,
because he broke protocol.
I mean, yeah, but he should have been smart enough. Because who was that? Was it the guy at Alabama that just married his secretary? The Alabama coach, and she was his executive secretary, and he's divorced his wife, and nobody's saying anything about that.
Right. And the thing is, nobody really cared about that part. I do agree with you that it was the police blotter part of it and him getting arrested that was really the icing on the cake. He said it was Rand Carthon that did it. Rand said, vengeance is mine. You think he was playing the big payback when he was
big payback?
That ain't no source meeting. That ain't no damn puppy, Gina.
That's when you say, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the bar and have a drink with you." What you got to tell me? Not let's strip down to the closest thing we got to being bucket naked,
right? And
get in this damn hot tub. And I didn't have a phone to record no audio.
Right. That's a great point. That's a great point. You're not taking no notes or nothing. Well, maybe it was like the boys. They said sign my heart. Maybe he wrote it on her heart. I'm gonna digress there. If I'm having a meeting, if I'm a secret source of an NFL insider, I'm gonna be dressed like the Sith Lord. With big ass hoodie over my head. I'm gonna look like Martin when he was in the unemployment line.
No, you're gonna look like Martin when he couldn't find his CD player.
Right, I'm gonna be cloaked in all black. I'm with a big ass hoodie over my head. To Tasha's point, I'm not gonna be in a man thong and laying in a hot tub while doing it. It's just bizarre. What do you think happens to her at the Athletic? Do they keep her?
I mean, whether they keep her or not, you still have people that are out here saying that they're going to give her a job.
But how can you break a story now if you're her without us thinking that you slept to get it?
That you slept to get it. Like, your integrity is shot. I mean, but for all intents and purposes, she is a good reporter. But now it makes you question, how in the hell you getting all this information? You don't see Adam Schefter in no hot tub with nobody.
Right.
You just see
him his on legs TV. All up in the air. With his socks in the air.
All you see him is on TV occasionally
and
looking at his phone, right? Because some report is coming in, and then they'll say breaking news now.
Right. And that's
you don't see Ian Rappaport juxtaposition with some woman at a pool.
And let's not forget, and the thing is, I have no issue with Diana Russini. if that's what you do on your downtime, then God bless you and peace be with you. But there was a Washington Redskins general manager's wife that called her out before for this type of behavior.
But getting a little too close.
Right. And if you do it, you got to stay inside. Right. That was some romantic dating type shit. Like I said, I'm gonna be in the corner with a hoodie on.
You're supposed to meet in that hotel room.
Right.
Meet me at the creep in.
Right.
You know,
I forgot about that song.
With your trench coat on.
Right. There's a meeting in my bedroom because we're both married, and this ain't gonna look good. He just has to not get caught. I agree. Sharon too. But they was after your ass, Sharon, because they didn't want hire.
I mean, they was after Sharon. Like I said, Sharon's biggest issue, just like with Petrino, is when they had to call the police in. Anytime you got the police showing up, it's going to be a bigger story than normal.
And we're gonna we're gonna land the plane here because that's a great place to land it. Was that Vrabel? You didn't learn from Sharon. Sharon got too comfortable. That's why he's in the position that he's in right now. Now, you know that there was rumblings of what was going on behind the scenes if he was that brazen. So, yeah.
Look, as our fantasy football commissioner tweeted out, at this point, Vrabel got them to a Super Bowl. He can go full on Aaron Hernandez, and they ain't going to say nothing.
I can't disagree with that. Tasha, who you shouting out on this victory Saturday?
Like I said, I'm shouting out my little annoying little sister, daughter, play cousin, Kayla. We were in Puerto Rico, and she forced me to go to a museum. I'm trying to find the video. She forced me to go to a museum, and I wasn't happy about it. Y'all see me right there, clad in you see it, the block M on the chest. And
block M on the chest.
You see like it down there in Puerto Rico representing.
Puerto Rico.
Stop. Sorry, guys, that's Pollux. So shouts out to Kayla for keeping my attention where it needed to be. Shouts out to my boy Jay who lives down there. And everybody who, like I said, wished me a happy birthday and helped me celebrate my birthday. Shouts out to all of them and all of you. Mwah!
Yeah, nice.
To this here beverage.
Shouts out to her beverage. Shouts out to the Victory Cigar. Shouts out to the University of Michigan, Dusty May, and those kids who went and made Michigan fans very, very happy, especially us Gen Z and Boomer fans that have had extended droughts in both of the major sports broken in these most recent years. So shouts out to the University of Michigan, and shouts out to the Artemis team for getting back safely. If you a mouth-breathing conspiracy theorist, eat one, okay? I don't want to hear your mouth today. Until you show me you bumping your head on the firmament.
So what you trying to say? The earth ain't flat?
Tasha, don't make this intentional 3-hour show. Until y'all show me that you bumped your head on the firmament, shut the fuck up and enjoy this moon landing, okay? Wait a minute.
Like, I mean, I do wish we could spend money in other.
It's real. It's real. Now, where's your prostitute paying a white suit wearing coat? Where's the suit, Ray?
Where the suit, Ray? Where the suit, Langston? Where the Colonel Sanders outfit?
In the basement, just like the Fab Fives. How about that?
But I ain't gonna lie. When first time he showed up on that court with that white suit, he was clean. He
was. Shouts out. Now, Miles promised tonight. Miles, you have a great time tonight. We're looking forward to
your burn cream, your prophylactics.
All right, read this for your daughter.
Shouts out to Leia, Patty, Big Boy, and Pusha P.
All right, you still won on the court. You did.
If y'all don't know, those are the cats. We have Leia Organa, we have Padme Amidala, Pollux Troy, and we know Big Boy right here.
So shout out to Rock Me Amadeus.
That is not. Her name is Padme Amidala.
Shouts out to Ramadan and Go Blue, your 2026 national champions. We'll close there. Tasha, get us up out of here.
Vamos Azul.
Oh, we're off next week. Enjoy your Saturday. We'll see you for the first round of the playoffs in 2 weeks. Peace. Hill.